When you buy a house, there's always lots to do. Our new homeowners have a really long to-do list. Watch how we help them transform the outdoor spaces. All coming up next on For Your Home.
When we're making our windows and doors, and even when we're not, Pella is helping to protect our environment in communities across the country through forest stewardship, pollution prevention, waste management, and other green initiatives. Not only because it's good for business, but because it's the right thing to do. And frankly, it's just part of the way we've always done things. Because at Pella, we believe we're not just making windows and doors for houses, we're making them for the people who live inside. Pella, viewed to be the best.
We had two projects here at Lori's house, her back deck and the yard. Both presented their own challenges. David from Growing Legacy and I reviewed the task ahead of us. Are you ready for this challenge?
We're ready.
All right. Well, I saw the plans. You sent them over to my office. I think they look terrific.
Thank you.
In fact, I got one question. How come this isn't my backyard? That's next season, right?
Right.
Okay, well, you know, you're doing a lot of hardscape here and a lot of changes. Let's walk through those, what we're doing.
Okay. The deck will be moving out into what is now the yard. We need to remove some of the limbs off of the nearby trees to make room for the deck. Once that's done, any irrigation that's in the way of the new deck, we'll remove that from the area.
Okay.
And we're going to run a sidewalk off the new deck area, take it to the driveway via the garage door.
Okay, what about all the lumps and bumps we've got out here, though, David? This yard is in bad shape here.
We're gonna take all of this out. We're gonna completely remove the existing lawn, the existing weeds, what have you. Any problems that we find in the yard?
Yeah, like what's going on over here?
We're not sure. Maybe a new oil well, but we're gonna find the issue here, repair it. The entire yard will be regraded and resodded.
Okay. Well, you know, you're going to put that great sidewalk over here, and trust me, I'm going to fix that door. We're going to get a new door in there because I'd hate for your beautiful walkway to end at that,
That'll look better.
And then we're going to have that walkway you said come on over here to the drive so we can get out.
We'll come away from that tree just a little bit so we're not in the way of the roots and come out to the garage, or to the driveway.
Okay, well, I know we've also got plans for the front. Let's go on up there and take a look at that.
Okay.
David, this really looks bad over here with a trash can. Have you got some plan for that?
We do. We're going to take out the stump that's probably from an existing holly. We're going to define the area where the trash can corral is and do a pea gravel base for that so it'll stay neat and look neat.
Okay, great. You know, that's all you need is just a designated space for it, you know?
Right.
Now, I know up front we're not doing any hardscapes, but I know you are moving some trees around. And what are the overall plans for this front space?
Well, a lot of the landscape is older. Some of it has been cut down, so we need to remove some stumps from old plant material. Some of the plant material is the right plant in the wrong place, so we're going to move some things around the yard. Some of these beds are built up quite a bit, and we're just going to correct those and add new plant material, new perennials. The homeowner asked for low maintenance, so we're going to put some things in that'll look great year-round and be low maintenance.
Dave and his crew have been working really hard on the backyard, and it absolutely shows. Hey, David.
Hey there.
You know, it's so different. I absolutely love it, and the sidewalk that you put in really made such a huge difference, don't you think?
Makes a difference, gives you a place to walk now.
It does, instead of walking out through the yard. Now, you repurposed a lot of the plant material that we had here. I know that you moved the red maple from here. My question is, we're getting into the hot season. What time of the year are we able to do that? And then at a certain point, we got to quit.
Usually before the growing season begins is a great time to do that. Once the growing season begins, it can be iffy and there could be some stress added to the plant material. We've had some crazy weather, real cold, real hot, and that also is a factor.
Okay, but they look great and healthy, but these guys don't look so good. These are the knockout roses we moved from the front?
That's correct.
Are these guys going to survive?
They will survive. They're just showing some stress right now, but they should rejuvenate within the next several weeks.
All right, now should we go in and cut them back so that they're pruned back? Or
I don't think so. That would be increased stress on the plant and probably not best for it now.
All right, so just put up with the way they look. They're going to look better after the prom,
They
right?
should, yes.
Okay. Well, you know, the walkway is really the key element here, and now the backyard is all nice and flat and level out here, and you put all new sod in.
Right.
All right. What about that big drain problem we had? What did you find out
that was a leaking valve, leaking irrigation valve. Those valve boxes are still a little lower than the grade, but that's all fixed up. The swimming pool that was created after a rain is now gone.
Okay.
And it's a nice area to play.
David, people spend a lot of money putting in sod, and then they just turn around and let it die. How can we make sure that's not going to happen here in Lori's backyard?
Proper installation is key. Fertilization and lime during installation. And once it's installed, watering it usually once a day, depending on the weather conditions, for the first 2 weeks.
Okay. How about the kids, keeping them off the lawn or on the lawn?
Watering every day is going to make it a little bit soupy. It's probably a good idea to keep the kids off of it for the first 2 weeks or so, and then it should be able to be reduced, the watering.
Okay. How about mowing it?
Once it starts getting shaggy, maybe 2 weeks, then you need to mow it.
All right. And this is Bermuda grass, so we can cut it really short. And how about like fescue or the other kinds?
Fescue turf you would want to grow 3 to 4 inches. Zoysia grass, Bermuda grass, warm season grasses can be cut a little bit taller or shorter, whatever your preference.
Yeah, I mean, this would be great out here. Play a little touch football going on.
Right, right.
You know, in the sidewalk, and I love the fact we can get to the driveway from that, and we can get to the garage right here.
And your old door.
Okay, I'm still going to do the door. The door's on order, and before you know it, we're going to have a beautiful door there. You're going to love it.
Sounds great, sounds great.
Well, I think you guys did a great job. I really appreciate it. And, you know, it's always amazing to me what can be done with a few dollars and some good, strong guys and recycling what you already have.
Absolutely.
It was really perfect. Thanks, Dave. Appreciate it.
Sure thing.
The secret to having a beautiful garden year-round is to select plants that provide color and interesting foliage throughout the seasons. Justin is with Southern Landscape Design, and he's been working with David to really create the beauty in this yard. Hey, Justin, I think it turned out super.
Hey, good afternoon, Vicki. Thank you.
You
I
know,
think we made a big improvement on the landscape.
I think you did too, and you know, one of the first things that I noticed when I came up was these beds are smaller than they used to be.
Yeah, you know, on both sides when you're viewing the house, we kind of shrunk down the bed size. A couple things, you know, to kind of reduce the maintenance requirements for the homeowner.
Right.
And then secondly, they're really just kind of sticking out like sore thumbs. So we thought to kind of pull them back, bring more desirable, smaller perennials to kind of manage, you know, the yard a little bit better.
I think that's a great idea. Now we have a nice, you know, focal point around this beautiful maple tree and nice planting of the annuals here on the corner. Now you made a lot of changes too in the way that this looks when you look at the house.
Yeah, before it was kind of there wasn't much order going on really. We had some large knockout roses near the sidewalk, which was kind of hiding the plant material in the back. What you like to do, particularly as a homeowner, is try to do what I call like a stadium effect or tiering. Start with your big plant material. It seems obvious, but it's at the nursery it's a little harder when everything's the same size.
Well, you know, right here, you transplanted this. David's crew transplanted this maple from the other part of the yard.
Correct.
So that gave us a nice focal point on this side. And then all the boxwoods are new, correct?
Boxwoods are new, trying to kind of, you know, create some balance, you know, tying in, you know, right side of the house with the left side of the house.
And you kept the old azaleas.
Kept the azaleas and kept the loropetalum on the other side. You know, if it's working, let's keep it. No sense of just tearing it out for the sake of tearing it out.
Now, what did you put in down here? What are your perennials down here?
We brought in some abelia down here just to create, you know, like I said, a second tier of plant material.
How big will these get?
They're going to be a kind of a mounded shape to, you know, about 18 inches, 20 inches in height.
So they'll stay small like that?
Yep, stay smaller.
Now, do they bloom?
They do. They're going to have some smaller white flowers later on in the spring.
Okay, that's great. I see a lot of daylilies that you have in here.
Yeah, we did a lot of daylilies. You know, over time they spread themselves. Very easy for the homeowner, you know, repeat bloom throughout the whole season.
That's always a great deal. And now, these are grasses. How big are these grasses going to get?
Some ornamental grasses. They're going to get probably 18 to 20 inches tall or so. And then they'll have some seed palms that are taller. Yep.
Okay, great. So everything's going to stay down. You reduced the size of this bed, I noticed as well.
Correct.
Okay.
It was extending a little too far down the driveway for the homeowner, so we kind of just shrunk it down a little bit, made it more manageable.
Okay, now, these are verbenias right here?
Yes.
Right now, these were already here, right?
Those are already here. They've kind of been transplanted. And then same with the daylilies. A lot of these were just kind of reconfigured to make more sense of it. We brought in some more ornamental grasses as well.
Will you go back in here and cut out like the dead that's in here?
Yeah, that's something that you can do. Really, the best time to do that is, you know, after dormancy in the winter, kind of go through, clean it out. So all the new growth is fresh and ready to go once you mulch it underneath.
Okay, well, let's take a look at the backyard.
Sure.
Justin, I really like what you've done here under the maple tree. This is really pretty.
Yeah, thanks. Before it was kind of, you know, barren, so we brought in, you know, some very shade-tolerant perennials, along with some woody plant material that, you know, do really well in the shade, just to give it a little more texture and, you know, liveliness underneath.
Yeah, the hostas are going to really love this right here.
Yeah, the hostas are going to get big, put on, you know, some nice flowers later on in the season.
And are these coral bells that you have in the front?
Yes, these are purple pallas heuchera is the botanical name, coral bells. They're going to spread, and, you know, basically they're pretty much an evergreen in this hardiness zone. So you're going to have that, you know,
even through the winter we're going to have this great purpley foliage.
A fair amount.
Well, I really love them. Those are really pretty on there. They have the really dainty little blooms on them,
little
so they'll
pink
just kind
flowers,
of bloom around. And then a spot for annuals. You know, a lot of times people forget to have a place for annuals so you can change them out all the time.
And more so even in the backyard. You know, a lot of people do it at the front doorstep, but, you know, if you're hanging out, you know, investing in, you know, your backyard a lot, bring some color that you can swap out.
Absolutely. Now over here, you added, were these already here, the caladium roses, or did you put these in here, the camellias?
The camellias, no, they're new as well, kind of twofold. Again, as this tree, you know, leaves out, we're going to have some more afternoon shade here. And then also as they mature, they're going to hide off, you know, the trash can.
I was going to say, we're just going to let these get as big as they want to.
We're going to let them go. You know, they're going to mature to, you know, 6-7 feet tall, just create, you know, a nice glossy evergreen mass.
Hide all the power boxes and the trash cans. That'll be great. And then along here, we've got some nice little hedges going and some more grass.
Yeah, some kaleidoscope abelia, very, you know, easy maintenance. You know, only get to about 18 inches tall.
Will these bloom?
They will. They will have fairly inconspicuous flowers, but it's more so for the foliage color.
Yeah, I love that.
Which again is another evergreen, so you'll have that color year round.
Well, you know, Justin, I think this is a great transformation in this yard, and you used a lot of the existing plant materials that were here, and Dave and his crew moved them around, and then you added just the right mix to fill in the blanks.
Yeah, you know, I always suggest, you know, use what you can. You know, if the plant material that you have might not be in the right spot, find a better home for it and make it work.
Well, you certainly made it work. Thanks for the help on the project.
Appreciate it.
Our homeowner, Lori, doesn't consider herself a great gardener, but she would like to start off small, perhaps with some container gardens. Take a look.
I do like to garden. I love container gardening, and so I'm really hoping that they're going to give me some spaces where I can do that. Annuals that I can maintain, but as far as the perennials, I'd like seasonal color, but something fairly low maintenance.
Well, I think that Lori's going to do just fine with container gardening. There's just a few tips that I'd like to share with her and with you. First of all, it's very tempting when you go to the plant store and you buy a really great plant like this fern, and you say, well, if that's a great container, why do I need to repot it? I'll tell you why. This little plastic pot is too small to support all of the root space that a fern like this needs. This is at the beginning of the summer. By the end of the summer, it's going to triple in size, but only if you give it some more space to grow. The same is true with geraniums. If you've ever bought a beautiful geranium like this, and you're saying, well, that's a pretty good sized basket that it's in, and I'll just leave it, pretty soon you start to notice the leaves are turning yellow, and no matter how much you water it or you don't water it, it just doesn't seem to flourish. That's because it doesn't have enough space for the roots. So the answer is always step up to a pot that is at least twice, if not 3 times, bigger than the plant that you're planting. You also want to make sure that the pot you select has a drain hole in the bottom of it so the roots to the plant won't rot by setting in the damp water all the time. Now, potting soil, another big thing to consider. You want to make sure that you use potting soil, and I recommend that you buy one of the varieties that has some added benefits to it, like water retention, some food for the plant. Those are really nice. They're time released. You never want to use garden soil, though. Garden soil might be tempting because it's inexpensive, but it really does get hard over time, and your plant's little roots can't grow down into it. Now, another thing to consider when you're planting a container garden is you never want to plant your plants any deeper than they already are in the pots that you're taking them out of. That's true whether you're putting them in the ground like a shrub or a flower, and it's certainly true in containers. Make sure that you don't smother that with a lot of dirt up around the top of it. Let it have some breathing space. Now, this last tip is not going to make you happy at all, but the best thing you can do for a new container garden is to take those beautiful blooms that made you so happy when you bought it and pick them. The plant's going to survive and thrive much better if you don't make it adjust to a new pot and support all these blooms at the same time. Just pick them, put them in a vase, and put them on your table. We installed a new walkway in the backyard. It turned out beautiful, but the door at the end of the new path, well, that's another FYH project. Does this happen at your house? You start one project and before you know it, it leads to another and another and another project? Well, that happens here on For Your Home every week. Now, David installed a beautiful walkway for us from the deck to the garage door. The only problem was this beautiful pathway led to a really ugly door. So what did we do? We replaced it. Take a look at how beautiful this turned out. This is a fiberglass door. It has beautiful art glass in it. It couldn't be a better finishing touch to this walkway. Now, what's great about fiberglass is, unlike the old door, which was wood, this one is going to be very durable and it's going to last a lifetime. It was pre-finished from the factory in this great black color. We could have chosen a lot of different colors, but we thought black was exactly what we needed to match up with the brick. We chose the silver hardware on it because it matches the silver zinc cane that's in the leaded glass window. And we have an aluminum brick mold that came with the door, so this is maintenance free as well. Now, the old door was a solid wood door, letting no light into the garage. Now, with this beautiful glass panel, the garage is illuminated and they don't have to turn the light on every time they go in. Now, you're probably asking yourself, though, Vicki, leaded glass, kids in the backyard playing with the balls, how durable is that? Well, this leaded glass is actually sandwiched between 2 pieces of tempered glass. So for safety code, it's perfect and it really protects that leaded glass. So if you've got kids in the backyard, you can still have a beautiful back door. If you're planning a landscape project or a new deck project, don't leave out lighting. It's an important asset to any of the projects that you're doing outdoors. There's been a lot of changes in outdoor lighting, and Jeff is here to give us a primer on what's new when you're planning your projects. Hey Jeff, I absolutely love what you and Mick did to this deck. It's such a great advancement over what I've seen before. Walk us through what you did.
Thanks very much. This is our little flush mount here down here. It's a 2-size flush mount that you can put flush in the deck and walk on it, or you can use it as an inexpensive riser on the stair down here. It's dimmable. Okay, there's about 25 to 30 different levels of illumination.
So you can set a mood, whatever you want with it?
Yep.
Okay, and it just works with a little remote clicker, like a car.
And it uses zero electricity.
Because it's LED?
LEDs, 12 of these fixtures use less than 1 watt of electricity.
Oh, I love that, because you know this is a great safety feature too, because you know right where the edge of the deck is, you're not going to have someone falling off of it.
That's right.
And it just kind of gives you that mood and that look whenever you want it.
It's gorgeous at night when you look out and
Now,
see that band.
when we had the deck lit up at night, you also had some lighting going under the handrail. What did you use there?
It's our miniature strip light like this. It's flat, 1/8 of an inch thick, 5/16 wide, and it dissolves in an 1/8 inch saw curve. It just disappears.
Wow.
And again, it's dimmable. You can tie it in with all these other little bullet lights, with the post cap lights that we have as well, and dim it all in the same system.
Okay, let me see this strip. Now this is all that this is. It's just right here.
Yep.
That is fantastic. Can you use this inside as well as outside?
We've got approval for interior application on cabinetry and such like that, on stairways as well on the inside.
Wow, that is a great feature. I love that. And
Thank
cabinets, that'd be perfect instead of bulky lighting.
Yep.
All right, now we didn't have any posts on our deck, but if we do, some people might want to retrofit their deck that they have now.
Yep.
What's happening in that realm?
Well, you've got, if you wanted to retrofit on this rail, we've got a little miniature aluminum base that you can put on here and then attach the cap to the post situation there. That's our LED application for a regular low voltage. And then we've got a solar version like this that requires
So you
no
could just
wiring.
retrofit this right away and not have to do any wiring or anything.
That's right.
Uh-huh.
LED replacement bulbs for all of our traditional lanterns use less than 1 watt of electricity and
You know,
totally energy.
I think these are just fantastic because, first of all, they're really beautiful. They're very innovative, and they are so energy saving. I just think this is a great way for us to light up our outdoor activities and really get some beauty to our deck. You guys did a great job. Thank you so much, Jeff.
Thank you very much. Yeah, appreciate it.
Wow, what a difference this new yard made. The deck turned out the perfect size, and the walkways are not only beautiful but functional as well. The new back door really was a big improvement to the backyard. I had lots of help turning this homeowner's dreams into reality. Join me next time right here on For Your Home when we'll have the perfect transformation for your home.